Today on Mama Z's Texas Kitchen, I'm making my grandmother's farm cornbread dressing. I hope you really enjoy this one, guys, because it is phenomenal. Let's get started on today's video. You know, Thanksgiving has always been one of my favorite holidays, and it just fills me with so many memories of growing up. It fills me with so many memories of going to my grandparents' farm, and my grandmother, Mama, she is still with us, but she made the absolute best dressing, and I've tried to learn to recreate it. I don't know if I can ever get as good as she makes it, or even my mom makes it. So, but we're going to try it. I'm going to bring you along today and show you how we do it. First, let's get some heat on this pan. I'm going to drop a little bit of butter in here. And we're going to saute our vegetables up. This is not necessarily a necessary step. You could just put it all in there and mix it because it is going to bake. I just like getting a little bit of a head start on cooking up the onions and celery. In the comment section below, I want to hear what was your favorite dish that was ever made growing up that just invokes memories of your childhood. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. And while we're at it, if you find this video enjoyable and useful, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Those things really do help with the YouTube algorithm. So if y'all would do that, I would really appreciate it. Okay, we're going to add a half of a Vidalia onion. You don't have to use Vidalia, it just happens to be what we had here. And it needed to use up, and I didn't want to go buy more onions. I think usually we would use just a regular yellow onion. And then we're going to add our celery. I'm probably putting I'll just put all 2 cups in there. As I've told y'all before, I love getting these at the store that are already chopped up, especially if I'm just making a recipe. For this, I'm going to add some black pepper. Some salt. I'm using kosher. Most of my videos you'll see that my favorite salt to use is kosher salt. This recipe is very versatile. In fact, my mom usually makes it 2 or 3 days or even a week or 2 ahead of time and freezes it and then just warms it back up. And it's just one of those things, do it ahead of time, you don't have to worry about it on Turkey Day. Because it does take a minute to bake in the oven, so. I'm also adding just a little bit. You'll add more later. I just want a little bit to cook in with this. Some poultry season. I'm also going to put in here just a little bit of my garlic olive oil. Not a ton, but just mainly for flavor. I'll leave a link in the description below on this olive oil. It is by far my favorite. I cook nearly everything with it. Okay, while this is cooking, I'm going to set this to the side a little bit, and we're going to dice up some boiled eggs. Now, I just boiled these up in my pressure cooker and stuff like that. If you haven't seen that, I've got a video that I'll link in the description, or do you a card on it. It is so easy to do it in a pressure cooker. My vegetables are about where I want them. Like I said, you don't want them just super overdone because they're going to cook in the oven too. So, okay. Next step, cornbread. Now, my sweet husband made this cornbread last night for me, and it is just the Jiffy sweet cornbread. It was convenient and quick. You certainly could make your own homemade cornbread. I would suggest, though, doing it the day before. It just works better to me if it has had time to dry out just a little bit. Got a big bowl, and you're just going to break this cornbread apart. Because even if you're doing this on Thanksgiving morning, you really need to do your cornbread a day or so before. Now, the next step to this is you're going to add in some kind of broth. I happen to find some turkey broth. The absolute best thing to do is if you've got some turkey drippings, to use that, but we're not going to make our turkey for a couple of days, so that's why I'm just buying the organic turkey broth. And you want this really wet. When you think it's wet enough, probably add a little bit more broth to it. That's what's going to give you that nice, moist dressing, because nobody likes a dry dressing, right? And I've heard a lot of comments on what's the difference between stuffing and dressing. The main thing is dressing is made in a pan. Stuffing is what's stuffed up a bird. I don't like stuffing. Plus, there's never enough. That's all you're doing is just a little bit that fits up a turkey's what's it called? Cavity. I was going to say butt, but that probably wouldn't have been very appetizing for people. So, my weird sense of humor, forgive me. And just a little bit more here. Okay. Next thing you want to do is salt and pepper. A bit more salt. Now, a good alternative that you can, I've ate this with, my grandmother had made it. You make the dressing up and set some pork chops down in it and bake it all together. Perfect. It's so good to eat that way. Also, is mixing your turkey in with it. All right, we're going to add some more poultry seasoning. And a lot of this, guys, is going to be by taste. Mix it up, give it a taste. If it tastes like you've got enough seasoning in it, you're good to go. If it tastes like it needs some more, add some more. So I can't give you like exact numbers on anything because I don't think my mom or grandmother ever measured anything. It was all done by taste. Everybody would grab a spoon. Oh, it needs a little bit more poultry in it. Okay. That's it. I'm going to add just a little bit more liquid.
What about your eggs?
They're coming.
Okay.
You get this mixed, then you add everything else into it.
Okay.
All right. Now our eggs and our vegetables. Now, if you wanted to add other vegetables, a bell pepper works really good in this too. I have added bell peppers to them. Or anything you wanted to, vegetable-wise, to add to it, knock yourself out. I know a lot of people will like make sausage in their stuffing. I'm not a fan, and I guess it's because I'm sure it's wonderful, but Thanksgiving and Christmas to me is my grandmother's dressing, so I'm making it hopefully close to how she makes it, or made it. My mom watches my videos, so maybe she'll critique me. So, no, you left something really important out. I don't think I have, but you just want to get all that mixed in good. Then I've got my casserole dish here. We are gonna spray this down with some cooking spray. I'm using an olive oil based non-stick spray. Another thing that would be really good in this, I haven't ever added it before, but because a lot of my family don't like them, would be mushrooms. I'll have to try that sometime. I know my husband loves mushrooms, and so does my daughter.
I like mushrooms.
Huh?
I like mushrooms.
I said it, my daughter. Y'all hear all that from the peanut gallery? All right, and then at this point, if you were gonna freeze it, you'd freeze it here. But we're gonna bake it so I can show you what it looks like afterwards. You also can freeze it after you bake it. So I've done that before too. We're gonna put this in the oven at 350 for an hour, and then we'll check it again, and we'll bring you back, and then we'll go from there and see if it needs a little bit more. We'll see you here in a minute. My friends, we're ready. It's just come out of the oven. You know, I've got to take a little bite. You know, the best part is the side along the... Now, something I forgot to mention is that you cover it with foil and cook it for about the first 45 minutes. Take the foil off and let it crisp up on top and cook it for a whole hour. I tell you what, guys, this is pretty close to what my grandmother used to make. I hope you will give this video a try, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys on the next video.